Fly this helicopter and I'll marry you. Victoria Blackwood pointed at the Sikorsky S-76 on the rooftop. 20 executives burst into laughter. Marcus Thompson froze, mop dripping dirty water. The 32-year-old janitor straightened slowly. Victoria tossed helicopter keys at his feet. Go ahead, pick them up. The laughter grew louder. Phones came out, recording. Marcus's hands trembled slightly. He bent down, picked up the keys. You serious? His voice came out deep, controlled. Victoria's heels clicked closer. Of course not. You probably think helicopters run on regular gas. She turned to her audience. Imagine, a janitor who can't read warning labels flying a $15 million aircraft. Marcus pocketed the keys, said nothing. But something flickered in his eyes, something Victoria missed. The janitor she'd just humiliated held secrets worth more than her entire empire. When you underestimate someone based on their job, you might be mocking the very person who will save your life. Watch what Marcus does next. 6 months earlier, Robert Blackwood's private jet had crashed into the Atlantic. No body recovered, just debris and questions. Victoria inherited everything, a $2 billion aerospace empire built on military contracts and cutting-edge aviation technology. Marcus Thompson had started his night shift 3 years ago, $15 an hour. No benefits, no sick days. Every night he cleaned 15 floors of the SkyTech Tower, starting from the executive suite. The chemicals burned his hands. The fluorescent lights triggered headaches, remnants of old injuries. Tonight was different. Victoria stayed late again, reviewing contracts in the boardroom. Marcus pushed his cart past her office, catching glimpses of helicopter blueprints spread across the mahogany table. The Sikorsky's maintenance log lay open. His eyes caught the numbers. Flight hours logged at 1247, but engine runtime showed only 981. The discrepancy made him pause. Enjoying the view? Victoria's voice sliced through the silence. She stood in the doorway, arms crossed. These machines are more complex than your entire neighborhood. Marcus resumed mopping. Just doing my job, ma'am. Your job, she laughed. You know what's funny? That helicopter has an autopilot system worth more than you'll make in a lifetime. Dual turboshaft engines, fly-by-wire controls. She walked closer, her perfume, Tom Ford, $1,000 an ounce, overwhelming the ammonia smell. But you wouldn't understand any of that, would you? The boardroom door opened. David Sterling entered, his salt and pepper hair disheveled. The 45-year-old CFO's usually steady hands shook slightly as he poured himself whiskey from the crystal decanter. Victoria, we need to discuss the Airbus deal. His voice carried an edge. $500 million has to close on the 15th. Everything's arranged, Victoria replied, not taking her eyes off Marcus. My father built this empire. I won't let it fall. David's gaze shifted to the helicopter visible through the window. Something passed across his face, calculation mixed with desperation. Your father was careful about who he trusted. And I'm not. Victoria's tone turned icy. That's not what David stopped. Noticed Marcus listening. We shouldn't discuss this around staff. Marcus emptied his mop bucket in the executive bathroom. The mirror reflected his face, hollow cheeks, bags under his eyes. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a small orange bottle. Sertraline, 100 milliliters. For the nightmares that wouldn't stop, for the faces he still saw when helicopters flew overhead. His hands trembled as he swallowed the pill dry. Back in the boardroom, he noticed something else. A red stain on the carpet near the emergency exit. Hydraulic fluid, but not the type used in the building's elevators. This was aviation hydraulic fluid, MyLH5606, the kind that turned red when contaminated. Sarah Mitchell appeared in the hallway, working late in HR. The 38-year-old woman looked exhausted, clutching a folder marked confidential. She saw Marcus, offered a tired smile. "Long night?" she asked quietly. "Always is." She glanced toward Victoria's office, lowered her voice. "She's getting worse. Ever since Robert—" Sarah stopped herself. "I should go." But Marcus had noticed her folder, the edge of a document visible. Last will and testament in Robert Blackwood's handwriting. Sarah hurried away. Marcus returned to find Victoria and David in heated discussion. "The 15th is non-negotiable," David insisted. "The insurance policies, the investor meetings, everything hinges on that date." "I said it's handled." Victoria's voice could cut glass. "I'll take the helicopter myself if I have to. Show them Blackwood's strength." David's face went pale. "The helicopter? But the maintenance—" "Is perfect. I checked myself." Victoria turned to Marcus. "Still here? Don't you have toilets to clean?" Marcus nodded, pushed his cart toward the exit. But his mind was working. Mismatched flight hours. Hydraulic fluid where it shouldn't be. David's trembling hands. Sarah's hidden documents. The 15th, 5 days away. Something was going to happen. Something Victoria couldn't see coming. But Marcus saw. He always saw. That's what had kept him alive in Iraq. And that's what would keep Victoria alive now, whether she deserved it or not. The next morning arrived gray and bitter. Marcus hadn't slept. The pills didn't help anymore. Victoria stood in the main lobby, addressing 40 managers at the quarterly meeting. Marcus was mopping nearby, invisible as always, until Victoria decided otherwise. "Speaking of efficiency," she announced, her voice carrying across the marble expanse, "let me demonstrate what happens when we lower our standards." She walked toward Marcus, every step deliberate, calculated. "This man has worked here 3 years. She gestured at him like pointing at a stain. 3 years of pushing a mop. Tell me, Marcus, in all that time, have you learned anything about aviation?" The managers chuckled. Marcus kept mopping. "Answer me." Her voice sharpened. "I've learned some things." "Some things?" Victoria grabbed a cup of coffee from a nearby executive. "Like what? The difference between clean and dirty?" She poured the coffee onto the floor Marcus had just cleaned. The dark liquid spread across white marble. Steam rose between them. "Clean that up." Marcus set down his mop. "That's deliberate destruction of—" "Clean it up." Each word dropped like a hammer. "Or clear out your locker." The room went silent.